Uh-oh.
Nice.
We are here.
Technical
but we're not.
difficulties. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
I think I got
Hi,
you guys all
Kevin.
muted still. Sorry about that.
No,
I don't know what just happened.
We muted
I had a glitch. No, I know that, but I had a glitch. Coming in from the intro video, I had a glitch where I clicked the I clicked this icon to get the get this on the screen, and somehow it froze my whole fucking thing. So that's gotta go. But
Nice.
that's great. That's great technology. Good start. Good start to the episode. Hi, John and Dan. Just you guys tonight. Duggan couldn't make this podcast.
Hello.
At least I don't think he had time to do the research required for our Rebel Moon discussion. So, how are you guys doing? How was your holiday?
So far, so good. I mean, Christmas went easy enough, and I went to the mountains with the wife for her birthday. Just
Did
came back
you
today.
went to the mountains?
You
Went
know-
to the doctors. What?
That was in my head too, and is mountains even in that song?
I don't know. If, I think I went to the. Yeah, I think it's I went to the mountains. I think that's part of it.
I don't have a cool hat, so
That's okay.
it's close enough. Right?
It's always
Yeah.
a decision for me when we start doing this whether or not I should wear a hat. But John's wearing the same hat as me. I decided that if he was going to be wearing the scally cap, I was just going to go full bald head. But I don't like the way that my head shines off my lights, so I try not to go full bald and repel any potential viewers. So
Oh, disgusting!
look at that
My hair-
bald son of a bitch.
My hair's just a mess, man. So
Kevin, I was very
I'll be-
happy. I was very happy to hear that you didn't get any bad gifts for Christmas this year.
That's right. I didn't get any bad gifts this year. A couple exchanges that have to happen between both my wife and I. I got her a new pair of Hokas, and I thought I got them one half size too big for her, because the ones I got her were like very. I got her a pair of Hokas before. They were very bright orange, and they're not like one she's like, I can't wear them to work. They don't match any of the shit that I have. So I got her like a pair of like light gray ones, but I got them what I thought was a half size too big. I ended up going a full size too big. So she has to exchange them. And then she got me that really sick Ahsoka Roosevelt shirt, the like what it looks like it's orange and looks like her tendrils and shit. And that's the size too big for me. So we both have an exchange happening. So
wait, you bought her shoes, right? That's what a Hoka is.
Yeah,
just
I'm
look
sorry.
like shoe size.
Hey, ready? Hoka, you're going to start supporting the show. Hoka brand shoes, ladies and gentlemen. They are fantastic and comfortable. Versatile. I mean, look at the size of that cushion. If you're a... Oh, and someone's got some Hey Dudes.
Hey dudes, yeah,
Oh,
buddy.
nice.
Hey dudes are amazing.
These are my
I-
house shoes.
Dude, I fought the Hey Dudes because John loves them. And then I saw them for like $30 on Amazon. I was like, you know what? Let me give them a try. I fucking love my Hey Dudes. Sarah got me a new pair of Hey Dudes for Christmas too. So I have
Hell
two
yeah.
pairs.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey Dudes and Hokas, man.
You know,
but
Hey
doesn't
Dude.
start-
Hey Dude is owned by Crocs, and I also own several pairs of Crocs.
Oh,
I will now
no.
burn my Hey dudes.
You are a croc dude? Oh, no.
I use them like I throw them on my feet when I have to take the dogs out, so I don't have to wear my Hey Dudes out in the rain.
It makes all the more sense why Jack loves Hey dudes now.
Yeah, I didn't know they were owned by Croc.
Neither did I.
That depresses me a little bit.
Yeah.
They didn't start out owned by Crocs.
Because
But
my
Crocs bought them.
nephews were telling me that the Hey Dudes were started by a YouTuber they follow. I don't know who. And this could be bullshit information. I didn't verify this at all. But
If
I
it is
figured-
bullshit, you should slap the taste out of their mouths.
yeah,
Yes.
just slap my nephew. Why are you slapping me, Uncle Kevin? You fucking lied to me, and I told the world on YouTube about it, and made me look like an idiot. So,
Oh, jeez.
but I'm glad you guys had a good Christmas. No major catastrophes in either of your households.
No.
Good here.
That's good. Very good. All right. We'll get into some off the tops here. This one is slightly Christmas related. So this is This is something that there's a new thing going around that I just heard of 2 days ago, and it is a callback to an old commercial. Okay, in 2009, there's a Folgers coffee commercial that aired, and I have seen this commercial. I distinctly remember it being on TV, and
I already know the one you're talking about.
I saw it
Continue.
set of lenses here, and I'd never perceived it this way, but after having it showed to me the way that I had seen it, I can't deny what this commercial is. So I'm going to play the commercial, and I want fresh eyes on it from you, obviously from John, who probably doesn't remember it, but Dan obviously is a little bit is in on the inside of this joke. So John, I want you to watch this commercial and tell me what you think about it.
I must have the wrong house.
Sister?
Oh, I missed you so much.
They waited up all night for you, you know.
It's a long way from West Africa. Oh, real coffee.
He's here.
I brought you something from far away.
Really? Oh.
What are you doing?
You're my present this year.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
All right. So, is the world crazy, or are the brother and sister totally fucking?
They be fucking.
I have seen this commercial. I stand corrected. And yeah, that's the exact same thing I got from it as well. Is that they are banging something terrible.
It's so fucking. It is so obviously incestual, and the Folgers company was like, we never even saw it this way when we were filming it. We just thought this was a nice, like, heartfelt commercial about a brother and sister, like, who have been separated, getting back together, and it is so obviously incestual. I don't understand how people who saw the dailies. I mean, I don't know if they do dailies for commercials, but if who saw this commercial come together, there wasn't one person in the room that was like, does anyone else think that these two look like they like want to fuck? Because that's clearly what I'm getting out of this commercial.
No, there's just that one guy in the corner that's just yelling. I was like, "Yo, they be fucking."
Don't worry about him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I mean, I don't know how this was passed at all. It's clearly that's exactly where it was going the entire time, and you're just like, there's no cup of coffee that's going to go and solve this problem.
It's fucking also, and this is not me. This is taking this from the source that I pulled this video from originally. But there's the part of the commercial where the guy goes, "Well, it's a long way from West Africa," and then he smells Folgers coffee, and he goes, "Oh, real coffee." Fucking coffee was founded in Africa. Like, you're not getting any more real than the coffee in Africa.
Yeah, they probably have some of the best coffee out there.
No shit. Like,
yeah, single source and everything else. I mean, that's where it's at right there. So
I guess there's like, I wish I got the videos for this, but I guess there's like spoof versions of this commercial where like she's like, "You are my present this year," and then the two actors like go like, like go for each other. It's not like making out and shit, and that just sounds fucking hilarious. And I just truly can't believe this commercial ever made it to the air with how fucking obviously incestual it seems.
You know, maybe it's me, but I feel like there was a lot of commercials that had, I don't know if it's questionable undertones back when we were kids that we would never have picked up on when we were actually kids. You know what I mean?
2009, I was, how the fuck old was I? Like
21.
22, 21, 22?
Yeah, but you weren't watching commercials being like, "Yeah, let me get a cup of Folgers."
But I feel like even 22-year-old Kevin Duffy would have seen that commercial on TV and been like, "What the fuck? How is nobody picking up on this?" So it must have just gone right by me, or it was like, I don't know, one of those things where I was in the holiday spirit, so I'd see that commercial, which I know I've seen on TV, and been like, maybe it was at the time where I was still so angry about commercials all the time that I was like, "Fuck, more commercials on the shit that I'm watching, so I wasn't even really paying attention to them.
You're thinking to yourself, damn, I gotta get me a TiVo.
Yeah, shit. TiVo, what's the TiVo stock at? So, that's good shit, though. So that was going to be our off the top, but then I came across this other off the top today, like an hour ago, and I think this is a great one too. So we're gonna have two kind of random openers before we get into the topics tonight. But here's this one too. You get to fight one celebrity. If you win, you have all the money. You have all they money who you fighting. So this is obviously a very poorly constructed sentence, but who are you fighting? Who's the celebrity you're gonna take down?
Eric Bana.
Why Eric Bana?
Because he hates him.
I know he does, but I feel like you're gonna pick a fight with Eric Bana. He's Australian. He's lanky. He's probably gonna fuck you up. So you
I'm
probably
gonna hit him in the fucking face with a bedpan and
Wait,
then drown him in it.
Hold on, let me go back to this. If you win, you have all their money. Okay, yeah. So you got to win the fight. So that's very important.
I'm gonna drown that fucker in a bedpan. I swear to God.
I don't even think John wants the money. He just wants one good hit on Eric Bana.
It seems reasonable.
That's the opportunity to hit him once.
But you fucking the Hulk.
I wonder what he gets for fighting you, though. He's like, I get to take your wife and your kids. Come here. And you know, say all you want. That Australian accent, even if your wife's mad that she has to go with Eric Bana, eventually she's gonna be like, that accent's kind of sexy. So work its way in. But
it is.
Dan, who are you fighting?
Peter Dinklage.
Peter
Dinklage.
That's such a low blow.
Well, I mean, there's going to be plenty of low blows because everything is just going to be dick height for him. But, I mean, he did fuck up Buddy the Elf pretty good, but that was staged.
I
think I could take him.
Hold on a minute.
What do you have against Peter Dinklage?
Nothing. I love Peter Dinklage. I would feel really bad about doing it, but I mean, he's pretty successful, and I feel like, I could use that money.
I can't. I'm so annoyed that I can't remember because when I saw this post, somebody underneath it said, he's one of the wicked old billionaires, and now the name's escaping me. He's like 93. It's like Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Someone's like Warren Buffett. He's 93. Ain't no way I'm losing that fight.
Is he technically a celebrity though?
No, I don't know. I guess not. But that's just.
I mean, because I also thought like easy fights. Like, do they have to be alive still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They got to be able to at least attempt to defend themselves and like fight back.
Because I mean, like Clint Eastwood will fuck you up.
Yeah, he's the old where you're like, I don't know. Actually, he seems too confident going into this fight.
Because I mean, the other thing was if you go back a couple years, 5 years. I mean, you could say Stephen Hawking. He's not going to be able to defend himself. I don't know how much money he had though. But then again, that's another one. You'd feel really bad doing it, but
I think it's an easy win.
You got to think of something that's like the repercussion of the fight won't necessarily taint your image either, right? Because I feel like a lot of people you could say any like billionaire go after him, but at least picking someone who could put up a fight back would probably put you in the best sense. But you got to pick somebody you think you could beat. Like, I don't know, like. I think Elon Musk is kind of a douche, but he's bigger than me. But it'd probably be a pretty even fight. I think if I had to take him out, but
I don't
like Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, we could do the bald fight. He's got tons of money. He's got enough money that he could probably get some serious training in if he knew the fight was going to happen first.
Bezos is in like uber shape now, though. Okay. It's like that's apples to oranges, man.
That's
like you have a real chance against Elon, right? Bezos is doing all the juice. Bezos is on TRT and all the supplements you can get south of the border, bro.
I just feel like if I picked somebody like Peter Dinklage or Stephen Hawking, like, yeah, I'd be happy that I got their money, but like everybody would be like, see me, they'd be like, that's that fucking asshole who fought the guy in the wheelchair who couldn't even move his fucking head.
Yeah, but you walking around your platforms in your mink coat with your fucking diamond rings on your hand, being like, "Bitch, please."
You turn
Yeah.
into a pimp after that?
That turn, yeah, are you kidding? I would turn Stephen Hawking into my fucking coat. I'd skin him. What is that face? Face hanging over your shoulder.
This took a terrible turn.
This is my Stephen. This is my Stephen Hawking minx coat.
Wait, I didn't realize that it was a fight to the death.
I mean, I think that if you're fighting Stephen Hawking, it's probably a fight to the death for that man.
You just gotta unplug him. That's not even fair.
It's like, did you watch Malcolm in the Middle?
Some episodes, not all of them.
So you know who Stevie is?
His best friend in the wheelchair.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's one episode where I don't remember if it was Reese or somebody else, but they go to punch somebody and the person dodges and he holds up like just before he hits Stevie in the chin and it just goes tink. And then Stevie's just like, and then he goes and knocks his wheelchair over on purpose to make it look like he got hit. And everybody hates that guy after that.
See, that's exactly my point. You can't go after somebody who's super handicapped, and you can't go over somebody like Peter Dinklage because it's not gonna look right. It's not gonna look right. But
Oh fuck. Okay.
but
You-
Eric
you
Bana is a
tell-
bad choice too, John, because he probably doesn't even have that much money. I mean, he's probably got
That's
maybe
okay.
couple mil.
That's okay. I'm okay
more
with that.
money than John has.
Exactly.
Kevin, you can come back to me and I'll pick somebody that would potentially be a fair fight, even though I've never been in a fight. But you tell us yours and I'll get one for you.
That's not true, Dan. I've seen you throw a little bit of fisticuffs around on the ice. Some
I
pushing,
push.
scrapping.
I push.
Yeah.
I haven't like fought. I'm honestly a little scared that I'll knock somebody's head off.
Now
Yeah.
I want to see you fight.
It's a good thought to have, Dan, as an adult man. You don't want to get fucking you don't want to end up in jail. So
It's a good point.
all right.
Kevin, who's yours?
Well, truthfully, I thought about it because my mind immediately went, well, where can I make the most money, and also take out somebody that at least half the world would be like, yeah, all right. I honestly thought Elon Musk. I thought tons of money, and at least half the world would be like, I hate that guy anyways. So I would have half the world in my corner. So I don't know. That was just, again, I'm going for the most money gained, but I don't know what the reverse of that is. Like, do I have to become Elon Musk? If he beats me, do I have to become his like servant for the rest of my life or something? Like, I don't know what he gets out of the fight. It sounds like seems like a real downside for him to even take it.
I mean, if he beats you, really, he gets nothing out of it. I mean, he could already pretty much, like, if he wanted to, he feels like he could just buy the land underneath your house and just make you pay rent.
Mm.
Yeah. Probably. Probably good. He'd buy the fucking bank. But yeah, okay. That's it. That was a fun topic.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm glad to know that John would do it, not even do it for the money. He would literally just want to fight Eric Bana, and that Dan would attack fucking helpless people. So
Yeah, I'm just a piece of shit. I'm looking for the easy fight.
it's a good one. The guy who chose Warren Buffett though, that's smart. That guy's
Top
like
tier.
that guy's like biggest bang for my buck, no chance of losing, none. All right, we'll get into the bread and butter of this show right now, which is going to be starting off with our spoiler talk of Rebel Moon.
Oh,
I loved it.
So
best
Rebel-
movie ever.
movie ever made.
Zack
Zack
Snyder's
Snyder's a genius.
Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon dropped on Netflix last week, and truthfully, like from premise, the idea that Zack Snyder pitched a Star Wars movie to Lucasfilm and like a rated R Star Wars movie, and they were like, it's not really on brand with what we want to do. So he took that same story and was like, I'm going to make my own universe out of it. I like that is something that happened. I think that's cool that somebody who had a good pitch decided to make something of their own rather than just let it hang there and not use it. I like that. However, the issue is Zack Snyder is a terrible director and a terrible writer. So, well, maybe not even a terrible director for elite in the terms of like, let me get behind the camera and shoot some cool shit. But like, as far as a storyteller, he is just terrible. In this movie, it shows all of his worst qualities, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So, but having said that, I saw the original trailer dropped and I was excited for this movie. The announcement, I was excited for it. I watched the original trailer, and immediately after watching the original trailer, I said, this can go two ways. I was like, because I'm seeing all like the cool slow-mo Zack Snyder shots and shit like that, but I'm not seeing what the fuck this story is at all. But
Mhm.
that's a trailer. It's only a snippet of the movie, right? Wrong. Because I sat down to watch this movie and there's nothing here. Nothing. There is no story, nothing. Granted, I'm sorry to keep talking, guys. I'll let you guys get your words in. This is supposed to be a 4-hour rated R version of this movie that he's filmed, and they decided to cut it down to a 2-hour PG-13 movie. I assume just to get more dips on those views. Like 23,000 people watched it or some shit on Netflix, or I forget what the number was. And I assume they think when they release the 4-hour cut, they will get those numbers again, which maybe they will. But having seen this 2-hour version, this movie is fucking terrible. So, what are your guys' overall impressions of this movie? Dan.
I give it 2 thumbs down. I mean, I texted you, Kevin, after I watched it, and my first response was, "What the fuck did I just watch?" And I mean, I had to explain it to my wife and be like, imagine being dropped into the middle of episode 3 of Star Wars, where a ton of shit has happened, and you have like a 30-second voiceover watching a ship fly through space, explaining everything to you quickly, and then being like, and here's this farm lady that's going to stand in this fucking field for 5 full minutes and have this guy watch her on a bridge because you know they spent way too much money on that Saturn backdrop that she was standing in. They had to get their money's worth, so 5 fucking minutes of that. And that's all the 4-hour version is going to be, is them expanding on the money that they've already spent. I will say, visually, it is nice. There is some good CGI in there. There is some bad CGI in there.
Yes, there is.
But the story goes absolutely nowhere. I hate the fact that robot's name is Jimmy. Did you know that?
Well,
Yeah.
is it
Yeah.
Jimmy?
His name is
It's-
Jimmy.
It's
One
called
guy-
Jimmy.
One guy calls him a Jimmy, but
Yeah.
which also like
Straight up Jimmy. He
Super-
is Jimmy.
I know it's a robot, but that's super racist name to slap on a fucking robot.
Yep.
I was thinking the same thing.
And they just fucking, it's like, oh, almost like a Western set in space, and then all of a sudden they just go around collecting people, and then they don't even really have like a big fight. I wouldn't say that like the big fight was big.
Yeah, it's a skirmish.
Shit happened. You got captured. You escaped. You killed some people. You took down a thing. That dude died. And you know, then you go back and suddenly you have fucking 6 weird-headed horses just waiting for you to go back to the Viking colony that you have, where
Well, didn't you
Jimmy's
see-
there with
did you miss
fucking
the-
antlers on his head.
You missed the scene. You missed the scene where Andre the Giant showed up and said, "Look, I went to the stable. I found 4 horses."
4 horses. You left these 2 here. I brought you another 4. Would anybody like a peanut?
Yeah.
I mean, like random things just never fucking explained the story. I mean, they talk so much about General what's his face and
Titus.
Yeah, General Titus, and I mean, does Jimon Hounsou not play the exact same character in every fucking thing he's in?
Yeah, and he's great at that character.
He
I am annoyed that they didn't even let him talk. They literally call out at the end of this movie when they do the reveal of the big fucking bad, the General Bethesda or whatever the fuck his name is. They show that guy. I don't even know what his name is. And they have him out there talking about like, oh, we think we found your daughter, sir. It's like, you expect this to be good news that you found my daughter and she's with General Titus, this great military mind. And it's like this callback to this guy. And I'm just like, that fucking dude didn't do anything. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't even talked.
Yeah.
You literally found him in dirt. You fucking gave him a bath. That's his arc in the movie.
And
I went
shave.
from dirty to clean.
And I didn't understand the constant like cane smacking on the ground. He
That
like
was-
hits his cane on the ice like 5 fucking times. The 5th time, like sending fucking Ed Skrein with a weird fucking haircut back through the portal, and then he's attached to the tubes again, and then the weird maesters pump him full of all the juices, and he comes back to life. But it was weird and went fucking nowhere.
It doesn't go anywhere. And I know there's a 4-hour cut of this movie. Like I said, I don't even know what the extra 2 hours would really be. I know you said that you think it's just lingering on shots, which probably it is if knowing Zack Snyder. But like, how are you going to fill in the gaps? I mean, unless literally you cut out all of the meat of this movie, which is like getting to know these characters, letting them have moments to do things, letting them have moments to talk and get to know these people.
Flashback showing us what the fuck has happened. I mean, the whole Blood Axe thing. Who are they? Who the fuck are they? Seriously.
Excellent timing.
The Blood Axes. They literally
They
show
have-
up just
they
for
have
that one
ships.
dude to
They
die.
have warriors. What have they fucking done that you don't like them?
What do you mean?
Other
You
than the fact that this dude sold them grain.
right.
That's
You
all
don't
we
think-
know. That is the only thing they've fucking done.
You need
bought
more, Dan. You need more than just the grain guy being like, if you're the Warriors we think you are, come fight with us. And having fucking Cyborg from Snyder Cut being like, I'll fight with you. You need more than that? I don't need more convincing than that. That's great storytelling.
Well, I'll fight with you. Let me go ask these guys, hey, who wants to come die with me? And they're like,
You
"Fuck
know
it,
I
let's go."
do. You know I do. I ain't
I
letting you die alone. Oh man. It's weird too to me that like literally why would Netflix okay this version of this movie getting released?
I don't know.
It
The
does
only-
them no service whatsoever. The only people out there that are like happy about this movie are deluded Snyder fans. Because again, I'm in the fucking thralls of these Facebook groups because I
course
can't.
you are.
I'm sick. I can't. I need help big time. But I'm in the thralls of these Facebook groups where people are like defending this fucking movie, and I'm just like, what did you watch? What did you watch? Have you never seen these? Like, have the only movies you've ever seen been Michael Bay movies and Zack Snyder movies? Because there's no way that you've seen good movies and think that these are good. This is a good movie. No way.
So the one thing that is, I'm obviously going to have to watch part 2. The only reason for that is because I want to know why Jimmy's flower crown turned into an antler crown.
Because he enslaved the people of the village and they all became cult members under him.
I don't know. That was like the one question I had, and I hated the fact that after that happened, it was just like end part 1.
Mhm.
Well, fuck you.
I will say there are two things in this movie that I genuinely liked. Two things. Number one, I actually liked the character of Jimmy the Robot in the limited time you had to see him in the beginning. I liked his design. I liked the backstory they told you about those robots, like having only.
You got more backstory about that robot than you did most of the other characters.
I liked the truthfully, if the fucking movie was about the robot, only the robot, and like it was the robot story all the way through, it might have been enough to keep me interested, right? It might have just been Anthony Hopkins doing the voiceover, which I thought worked really well.
Yep.
I liked the robot. And again, this is another robotic thing here. I liked the fucking crate spiders that grab people. I thought those were like two really cool elements to this movie. and they're just squandered in a shitty movie. Like,
I did like Jimmy's nonchalant sideways gun, perfect shot to the head.
oh yes,
That was
Yes.
great. I was like, oh sweet. I thought he
Jimmy
was gonna
doesn't
just
fuck
be like
around.
real quick and just be like, pew. But
Yeah.
no, he's just holding it like,
this is a weapon of war. I don't need this anymore. All right, I'll just pull this trigger. Click. I did like that. What did you guys think about? I'm sorry, John. I want to get your full thoughts on this too. But you know how I knew this movie was gonna be bad though? Like again, the first 30 minutes or so, I was like, all right, well, we'll see what happens here. There is a shot in the first 30 minutes, right when the fucking mothership or whatever enters the atmosphere, and she does a slow-mo drop of seeds.
mm-hmm.
Seeds. There's no reason to go slow-mo on the seeds. And Zack Snyder's like, you know what? I don't like how quickly those seeds drop from that bag. Insert slow-mo.
Slow it down.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right, John.
One other thing about the slow-mo drop is after that, she is a very awkward runner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Her run from the field over to the gong was just painful.
Very awkward swing of the hammer for the first couple too. She was like,
Yeah.
put her whole body into it. I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible form. She's going to hurt her fucking back.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, her back is toast.
Go ahead, John.
Here's what okay, so I've got goods and bads of this. Space Viking Village, awesome, loved it, thought it was fantastic. Right, they had the long houses and everything else. Thought it was fantastic. I loved it. I like Jimmy the robot. I thought it was great. I sat there, I was like, that's Anthony Hopkins, right? And
Yes.
again, when he turned into Jimmy the Druid with the antlers at the end of it, I sat there, I was like, that's great. This movie is a poor man's Warhammer 40K. It's fucking terrible. When you talk about space Nazis, that is Warhammer 40K in a nutshell, right? For humanity, it is what it is. When you look at the creature designs, I thought the creature designs were great, right? When you have that little thing on the table that's enslaving the human, like the human thrall with the
That
thing
was
around
cool.
his neck, I thought that was fucking dope, right? The spider lady is straight out of D&D. I thought that was dope too. Good thing to show there. The spider chairs that you're talking about, that comes out of the crates, that's straight out of Beetlejuice, right? That thing goes behind them, fucking grabs them. I was like, that shit's straight out of Beetlejuice. So there are some good things I did like about this movie, right? When it comes down to sci-fi, I'm willing to give shit some really bad shit a really good chance. Unfortunately, right, when you sit there and say there is no story, I mean, this is quite literally a hard candy shell with nothing inside. It looks great, but it's got no substance whatsoever. I mean, I was really hoping that it was going to go ahead and be more so than it actually was. Like there's no real explanation as to Gunner's character. His name's Gunner, right? The Hippogriff rider, right? They get slammed into a rock wall.
That's not Gunner. Gunner is
Oh,
the guy.
sorry.
Gunner's the guy that goes with her to on the quest from the village.
Fair enough. I'm sorry. My bad.
We don't. I don't even know if we learned the name of Mr. Hippogriff.
Ed Screen says that he's some kind of prince.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know nothing about it other than that his entire family line has been wiped out. But he gets slammed into those rock walls and walks away without a scratch and runs and jumps back onto it again.
Mhm.
Right? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, at least get this guy who's like built like an Adonis some kind of damage, something. Digimon Hansu, right? His character again, just laying on the ground covered in dust and then getting a shave and a wash, and he's like, yeah, I'm good to go. Terrible. Just absolutely, there's nothing you could have. Give me something of the Coliseum that was worthwhile. Him fighting in it, him killing somebody, anything.
How about if he's this great genius military mind, you get a scene that's literally a parallel to his scenes in Gladiator, where fucking Russell Crowe's like, get in formation and like killing people. How about a scene like that?
Absolutely.
Showing him killing some fucking aliens or something, and then it's like, oh, okay, that dude is a great military mind, and they see this, and then you're like, now I know why this guy's coming on the team,
right? And then you have space laser sword samurai woman, right, who doesn't use her laser swords at all, right, until the very last moment. I'm like, Jesus Christ, lady, you could have ended this fight ages ago, right? You just could have ended this fight ages ago, and you just chose not
Well,
to.
she should have just used the Force, John. Really? I mean,
It
that's
really-
Let's be honest here. This was the part of the pitch from the Zack Snyder script where the Jedi showed up. So
Did the main character, did she kill the Emperor's daughter? Did she allow the Emperor's daughter to get killed?
I think
Right?
she just is the Emperor's daughter, and they're trying to the real Emperor's daughter, and this dude just picked her up as like his own daughter,
Right?
not and like to keep her safe or whatever. He knows how valuable she is because she can fucking bring people back from the dead or whatever.
Nothing
Whatever.
That shit is explained to like she's magic. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
She's Space Jesus.
No shit, right? This
There's
guy
space
gets,
Nazis and there's Space Jesus. Come on.
this dude gets destroyed and tossed like what 500 feet off the platform that he's on and hits
Onto
the ground
rocks. Yeah.
onto rocks. Hey, that's cool. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Let's just put him.
What
on,
are the
let's put him
chances
on
he hits the
ICU.
rocks? It's a fucking water planet. Like literally, you mean to tell me that dude didn't just fucking hit the ocean and just sink to his death forever?
No shit.
Unreturnable. Like,
The second she tossed him off that platform, I said, he's not fucking dead. He's not
Yeah.
going to be dead. He's coming back.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
there's so much to that character too that he's carrying around the staff of the Emperor. That's the other thing.
Oh, you mean the bone leg? I mean the
Yeah,
fucking the femur bone fucking
Yeah.
staff.
That's a staff of the Emperor that you sit there, he's carrying it around. All of a sudden, he just snaps it. You're like, all right, I guess.
I also hate, I know it's PG-13, but I hate this fucking movie that every time something cool looks like it might happen, they cut away from it.
No
Like,
shit.
It's a PG-13 movie. You can show this dude getting fucking clubbed to death as long as you're not showing like the grotesque like head caving in or fucking blood like pouring out of him, you know? Like there are
You can
times
show
people
the
have shot
initial-
with, yes, you see in like people get shot with these laser guns, which you know produce holes because you've seen it.
Oh my god.
But then there's a scene in that fucking barn fight where she's up on the dude, the wicked fucking disgusting rapist dude, and she's got the gun under his neck. She pulls the trigger. Blood should be exploding out of the back of this dude's head. At the very least, you should see the laser blast go pew.
Yep.
And it just cuts away to a new shot where he's just falling down with nothing. And I'm just
this leads me to an entire thing that's
maddening.
completely nitpicky on my end, right? And maybe it's John Wick that just has gone ahead and spoiled this shit for me, right? But I count reloads in fucking movies, right? I counted one when she was on the battlefield where one of her lovers dies on the battlefield and she fucking like, "Ah," and then she reloads one time. You don't see another fucking reload in that entire movie when they're shooting pistols at all. I'm like, I'm confused, right? This could not have been that far, that long ago. You're clearly able to use the same fucking technology, right? Why aren't you reloading your guns? Why is nobody reloading their guns? Why is nobody running out of ammo? Doesn't make any
Why
sense.
maybe-
add
maybe
why
they
add that you
don't.
have to do a reload into the script or into it at all if you're never gonna do it?
Exactly.
Just
It
say
drives me
they
nuts.
never run out of bullets. It's like Star Wars. You never see it. Like occasionally you have a blaster jam. You never have one go, I'm out of fucking Kyber crystals or whatever. You know,
I need an energy pack for my E11 blaster. Pop. There you go. Right? No, you never see it, and I appreciate that shit. So if they never see it, it doesn't bother me. If you do it one time, I expect it for the rest of the movie. I don't get it. It drives me ballistic.
I
This
did
movie's
like
so
I
frustrating.
did like how the slag like came off of like the blaster bolts when they hit something though.
like it's got like a wet discharge.
Yeah.
It was-
I like that. That was cool.
it's not. This movie isn't without things that
It's got
could have
some good
worked.
spots. Yeah.
It's what's so frustrating. Like I think some of the creature designs are really cool. Some of the planet setups are kind of cool. The issue is that everything that Zack Snyder cannot tell a character-driven story where you have character arcs that are worthwhile. He can't do it. So if any other director took this idea from Zack Snyder and wrote it, any other writer wrote it for him, then maybe you could have done an okay job. Like 300, which is one of Zack's earlier movies, right? 300 was I believe a Frank Miller comic book, right? The adaptation of it was pretty simple. All you have to do is show the fighting, like the different little parts of the story.
Yep.
It's a swords and sandals movie, so it doesn't have to be that complex. So that movie's fine. the dialogue within is fine. It was one of his better movies because of how simple it could have been. When you're telling a story you have no backstory for, you're just plopped into it, and you're like, space Nazis are bad because why? Because why?
Spin the wheel.
Because I don't even think it says that they killed the king. Does it? It just
No.
says somebody
just
killed
says-
the king.
Somebody
It says
did.
they were assassinated, but there's no information on who did it, except for that she was the bodyguard
From the
that-
princess.
of the
Supposedly.
princess.
Now, was
Yeah.
the king Carrie Elways?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Why did he have a beard at one point?
Because they had to make him look young, so they made him look like fucking Wesley from Princess
Because
Bride.
like the first time we see him, he has no beard, and then like there's another part where Dargo Ragrius or whatever, the what's her face's dad, fake dad, I don't know what his name was.
What was
is
that
there,
name?
and all of a sudden
They
he's got
say it
this
like
great
3
big
times.
bushy beard.
That's how you can tell time has progressed in this movie.
Oh, because he grew a beard.
Because when you cut back to that guy too, when it shows his flashback, totally clean shaven. But when he's the
Yep.
fucking emperor of the space
And now he's
Nazis,
standing on the ice,
full beard.
full beard. He's like, I'm old now. I
That's
grew
how
a
you can
beard."
tell time has passed.
I mean, how old was Corey Stoll then? He had a big old beard before his face got caved in.
Yeah. Who is this man? Did you like that both versions of Dario Naharis were in this movie?
I didn't notice.
No, because that's Gunner and then the fucking space Nazi bad guy, Noble. I think his name was Noble.
Yep.
Those two are both Dario Naharis's, and they have a face-to-face in the movie. And I was thinking, where's Daenerys now? Now she has to pick which Dario Naharis she likes better.
Oh,
I probably wouldn't have gone with Ed Screen. That dude's freaky looking. But-
yeah.
I feel like the death of Charlie Hunnam's character was a bit premature. Not that I didn't like it, right? I just thought it was premature for what it was.
I'm gonna say that Charlie
Also
Hunnam's
didn't
character,
show it though.
That's true. They cut away. Charlie Hunnam, he might be alive. Charlie
Oh,
Hunnam's
I think so.
Well, the other dude lived, fucking fell from 1,000,000 miles up onto the rocks.
Yeah, but he's got all those little sucky points for his weird octopus friend to suck on.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's
His-
so weird.
His octopusy.
Fucking thing.
But Charlie Hunnam's character, from the first time you meet him talking and stuff like that, I was like, okay, I could see this character being fun. And then he doesn't talk again for
Most of the
an
movie.
hour
Yep.
in this movie. And then finally, he has a little bit of dialogue on the bridge of his spaceship where he's like, oh, I think you may be getting me to join the other side or whatever the fucking accent there. I mean, I know he's
He's trying to do
English.
a
he's
I
English,
seen it.
really, right?
Yeah, he was trying to do a Northern Belfast accent. I seen him in an interview doing it, talking about it.
Okay. So I don't know why you just make him English, for God's sakes. Like, whatever. So he starts talking, and then he has his little turn where he's the fucking snake or whatever. That would have been cool if it were flushed out and I gave a shit about this character during the movie. But
Right.
all you get from him for an hour is him standing in the background with the other idiots just watching other shit happen. Like it's maddening. Like why go on this journey? Like have
Because he had a spaceship.
That's all it was. He has the ride.
Yeah.
You know, you had that friend in high school that had a car before you did.
yeah, but why is it's like the only character arc in the movie is Charlie Hunnam's character, and he literally doesn't talk for an hour. And then all of a sudden, that last 30 minutes, he's like, I'm talking again, I'm interesting, and then I'm a bad guy.
And I'm dead.
And I'm dead. Yes. Oh my God. So frustrating. So frustrating.
Can't wait for part 2.
Hang on. We got some comments on this. So
When is that?
April.
April?
Yeah.
April.
So the 4-hour cut will probably drop in like February, so that it's like just enough time for you to get the full thing going in for it. But we have comments from Travis Mitchell, who says, "Hope you guys are doing well. We are doing well, Travis. Thank you for bringing that up." For
It's
asking.
all Travis all day.
He goes, I loved at the end when they're pulling back the platform with the main girl on it, but only 2 of them are helping, while the strongest looking dude monologues and the rest just stand there. That's like the whole movie, dude. They literally only have enough time to focus on like 2 people in this giant group that they formed. And he goes, one major negative is by the end, you get the epic hero shot and realize most of the interesting characters are either dead or disappeared from the movie. Charlie Hunnam, Ray Fisher, etc. And Farmer Dude reminds me of Discount Cassian Andor.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. Yeah.
I did have a thought for a second. I was like, wait, is that the guy? I said, no, that's not the guy. That's somebody else.
Wait, you thought that was Diego Luna?
Yeah, for a second. And then I was like, no. I think it was when he was standing on the bridge looking at his girl farming, and he was just like,
Diego Luna would stand that way.
My thing would
Look
be
at
is
that.
that Jimmy talks about the fact that there are many other robots or
many
automatons
other
out there.
Jimmys.
I didn't want to say it like that. Many other automatons that are out there that are just like him, that just, once the Emperor died, they all put down their arms, right? Part 2 is going to be an uprising of all the automatons coming, like literally uprising and going ahead and helping the resistance. I guarantee it. It's going to be part of the ending shots. It's going to be fucking predictable.
Mm.
And Jimmy, with his antler crown, will be the leader of that resistance.
This movie just plays like a bad video game. Ultimately, the whole fucking thing. It's literally, we need to get people to fight with us. Is that who can we go to? I don't know. We're gonna have to go to the city and find somebody to take us to get these people. And then it's literally like laser sword samurai. All right, let's go get her. What's her backstory? There is no backstory. Okay.
All of her kids are dead.
But yes, yeah, but you don't find that out until the fucking end of the movie when somebody explains it in a fucking exposition dump.
What's her
like-
backstory? Let's watch her kill this spider lady.
chick. Yeah. All right, that's pretty cool. She kills a spider chick. How about we help? We all
Anybody.
have guns. We all have guns. We're just gonna watch this lady fight this fucking giant spider alien by herself. There's a little child involved.
I think for a second, what's his face? I don't
Gunner?
even remember his name. Gunner acts like he wants to help her for a second, and then they're like, "No,
Let her do it.
Well, he does grab the kid, and again, if you have any interactions with these characters, maybe that moment means something when Gunner's like, I feel really bad that I let MODOK get his head fucking smashed in back at the farm. So let's fucking like I had to save this kid. Like, I can't just sit back and let innocent people get killed anymore. Like, whatever. But there's nothing for any of these people. Nothing. It's just literally going port to port, and it's like Laser Sword Samurai has joined your party. Dusty General has joined your party. Fucking Mohican, Last of the Mohican Harry Potter Hippogriff Rider has joined your party. Like, it's just there's nothing, man. There's nothing in this movie. There's,
random
honestly, it
resistance.
shouldn't even be enough. It shouldn't even be enough for me to hate it because it's just nothing. But based on the reception that it's getting with these fucking Snyder people, it infuriates me to no end that they're defending this movie. There's not a movie here. There's not a movie here to defend.
As my dad has told me more times than not, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
It's true. I don't know, man. I honestly, like, I will watch the second movie. I may even watch the 4-hour cut because I'm interested enough to see, like, if there's anything here.
Oh, for sure.
But I can tell you that I tried to rewatch Rebel Moon before this podcast.
Why?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't even do it.
I did fall asleep watching it, and it was not at night. It was during the day, and I fucking fell asleep. I fell asleep in the middle of Laser Sword Samurai beating up that fucking spider lady. I fell asleep in the middle of that.
Kevin, you know that I watch a lot of shit movies, right? I wouldn't watch this again.
Yeah. Well,
That's
here's
saying
the
something.
right? Because I will say I wish I remembered this guy's name because I actually got it in a good discussion with this guy on one of the threads that I was on about this movie, where he said if this movie were made with the intent of being bad, like if this were a Lamageddon, or if this were
It'd be excellent.
Exactly. He's like, if this were intentionally being made to be bad in the vein of like Birdemic or like any of these terrible fucking like B grade movies that I do love. I love a bad movie, then it would be infinitely more watchable and better. But the fact that somebody's literally made this thinking they had this fucking epic, and that Netflix dropped, I think they said it was $165 million for both movies, which isn't a lot, I guess, when you think about it. But I guess on a Netflix budget, it's pretty good. $165 million for both movies. I would be furious if I were Netflix, and this is what Zack Snyder came back to me with. Furious.
Yeah.
So maybe that 4-hour cut is brilliant. You know,
I hope so. I mean, probably not, but I hope so.
Maybe it's brilliant. I don't think it is. I don't think it could be. I don't think it could be.
Unless he preemptively fixed all the fucking issues that we have with it, and they just had to cut it in half and gave every single character a backstory, and you saw it, and shit actually happened.
Well, look, I mean,
2 hours. 2 hours is a lot of time.
Yeah.
But you know, all you're gonna get is more slow-mo and fucking CGI shots that they spent money on, just longer time.
Listen, Zack Snyder's Justice League, his 3.5 hour 4 hour Justice League, I forget how long it even is, but that movie is infinitely better than the theatrical cut of Justice League, right? But the bones of even in Zack Snyder's Justice League, the bones of that story still flows in the 2 hour Justice League movie. It's basically the same movie, but he does get more time to spend with other characters. You get more characters have time to flush out angles of their story. Like Cyborg's story and the Flash's story are infinitely better in Zack Snyder's Justice League. It actually makes the movie better, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have no hope that he did the same thing with this Rebel Moon movie. I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, I know he showed that he did, but this Rebel Moon movie, it doesn't have the bones that it needs to be engaging enough that it could probably flush that story out. Knowing that it probably starts, has the middle, and ends where it does exactly the same. That's not good enough for me to care about a longer cut.
This feels like a great first or second draft, not a final draft type of thing.
3 people wrote this script. 3
Terrible.
of
them. And that's why you have a fucking problem.
They wrote it together, I think. I don't think it was
I don't give a shit.
Let me take a pass.
I don't fucking care. When you have 3 people writing a screenplay, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah, unless you're trying to make a bad movie like Undercover.
No, that'll be written by one person. Kevin Duffy.
No, I will take input from everybody on Undercover. All of it.
Yeah, you'll get input, but you will be writing it.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the issue. When you have multiple people writing a screenplay, there's disconnects all over the place because one person wrote this portion, and then all of a sudden you're like here and you're doing shit that you didn't know that they wrote. I didn't read your part because I didn't read Zack Snyder's part because he's Zack Snyder. I trust him. But then there's shit that happens that you're like, well, shit.
Do you think this movie? Do you think this movie was like any of those there's comedy movies out there where people are making movies? I feel like this is an exact example of somebody like showing up to set to film, like these actors showing up to set to film this movie, and then being like, "Oh, did you see the changes to the script?" And someone's like, "You got a script?"
Yeah.
What script?
Hans Stu sat there like, mine just said, lay down in the dirt and get dusty.
Honestly, we're running late with this podcast. I don't even think we're out of time to get to our favorite movies of 2023. We'll do that next week.
Hey, I have my list written out. I can.
Me too.
Yeah.
What?
I can do it quick in 5 minutes.
A 5-minute rundown of that?
Yeah.
All right. So let me just get you guys' letter grade for Rebel Moon. Truthfully, honest to God, letter grade for this movie, because I gave it a D+, right? Because I feel like in the hands of somebody better, there's enough material here that I would like to have seen it. Like if say like Peter Jackson, I mean dream scenario, Peter Jackson or like Guillermo del Toro directed this movie. It could be this universe could be cool, right?
Mm.
So I was like, just based on that little bit, I would give it a D. I wouldn't give it an F. I'd give it a D+. What do you guys grade this movie?
John.
Oh, geez. Straight D.
D?
Yeah, straight D. You know, it's got possibilities, but so did I Come in Peace. So, you know, I can't say anything better about it.
I want to be different, so I'm going to say D-.
There you go.
It's a passing grade, but it's
But barely.
barely a passing grade.
I like how Kevin's at the top and it just slides back from there.
I can't believe I'm at the top with how much I hate this movie. that tells you anything. But it's yeah, no, it's just not it's not good, man. Let me put it this way. If we did the worst movies we've seen this year list, which we might do, this would be my number one worst movie that I saw this year. I don't think I've seen anything worse than this. I truly like my mind goes back to like Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like even the MODOK stuff in Ant-Man isn't as bad as this movie. And that's some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I remember you talking about it. But yes.
Well,
So that's not going to be on John's
John's favorite.
best movies of 2023.
All right. We'll jump over really quick. So the other thing we were going to touch on today was we're going to do our favorite movies of 2020. And it's all right. We can go a little long with this. Why not? We got time.
My wife already went to bed. Fuck it.
Our top 5 movies of 2023. And they don't have to be top 5, guys. I realize I said top 5, but if you don't have 5 or you got a few extras you want to sprinkle in there as my list is too long.
I have 6 and 3 honorable mentions.
Okay. Dan, why don't you kick us off?
All right. Coming in at number 6. I believe it was Blumhouse, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I liked it too. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was amazing, but it was fun and
I
it
wouldn't say
made
it's
money.
amazing. I didn't see too many movies this year.
Neither did I.
Yeah. Coming in at number 5 was Guardians 3. I enjoyed it enough. But again, not many were seen. Number 4 was Barbie.
Oh,
I did actually enjoy.
so that's
Barbie.
where you got the song from then.
What song?
Remember when we did it? We came to the mountains.
Oh, was
we
it?
went to-"
It
Yeah, they
probably
sing
was.
that every time she's in the car.
Number 3 and 2 were actually not seen in theaters. They were released on streaming platforms. But number 3 was Leave the World Behind.
Mm-hmm.
To me, very good original story. The ending was
Post-apocalyptic, right? Kind of like
the ending's a little funky. But you know, whatever. Number 2 was Extraction 2. I really enjoyed watching Chris Hemsworth kick people's asses, and the escape from the prison scene in Extraction 2 was absolutely bananas. And my number 1 is Oppenheimer.
nice.
There you go.
In my honorable mentions, 3 movies that I haven't seen this year that came out this year that I want to see is Next Goal Wins. It's a Taika Waititi movie.
Yep.
Killers of the Flower Moon. I just don't want to pay to watch it.
Mhm.
And Landscape with Invisible Hand.
What? What is that?
It's an alien invasion happens on Earth, but they're more accepted. So
Okay.
it's like years past the alien invasion, and like the aliens are just kind of like now part of society. And I don't know much about it. I saw like one trailer for it, and I said I'd watch that. But again, I don't want to pay to watch it, so I'm just waiting to find it on one of the millions of streaming services. that I
Isn't
pay
Killers of
for.
the Flower Moon on Apple? for
You have to
free?
fucking pay for it.
On Apple Plus?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had to pay for anything on
I-
Apple Plus.
I looked at it. And it pops up and I'm like, oh shit. It's like go to movie. It's like $23.99. And I'm like, nope,
That's ridiculous.
not doing that.
Oh man.
John, what do you got for yours?
I've only got 5, and it's the only 5 movies I've actually had a chance to actually sit down and watch this year, like actually go out and pay for. So John Wick 4.
Nice.
I absolutely loved it. Thought it was fantastic. Good way to end the series off for the most part. D&D, Honor Among Thieves. Loved it.
I like the part where he's doing the distraction with
Yep.
the loot.
Yeah, that's it. It's one of the probably the best parts of that movie.
Yeah.
We're waiting for Jonathan. I thought that was great.
I think we should really wait for Jonathan. Evil
Really?
Dead Rise. Evil Dead Rise is another one that I watched. Is it good? Debatable. Is it something that I paid for? Yes. So it's on my list. Guardians 3. Again, on my list. Thought it was fantastic. And then Haunted Mansion because my wife forced me to watch it. Honorable mentions, the things I have to see still are Knock at the Cabin.
That was a good one. That was number 7.
65. Which
it's
I
pretty-
want.
It's pretty rough. It's
is it
okay.
pretty rough?
It's not as bad as Rebel Moon. I can tell you that. But-
And I'll be watching this one tonight, which would be Dead Reckoning. I
okay,
haven't seen that yet. So
so that's a good list.
Where is that? Is that streaming somewhere?
Mission
I don't
Impossible
know.
Dead Reckoning?
I believe I can get it on Amazon. I am not 100%.
I think you have to pay to rent it though. I don't think it's free yet.
No, it's probably not.
Because it was one of the movies I tried to watch on my 6-hour flight out to California, and I fell asleep like 9 times.
Well, my list. So I will do some missed outs, some ones that I missed out on that I have not seen yet. For me, Godzilla -1. Everybody says it's fucking fantastic.
I gotta see that too.
I don't have. It's playing at weird times, and it's like I just don't have. It's what as much as I have no problem with subtitled movies. I watch a shitload of them at home, but like I've never gone to the movie theaters to watch a movie with subtitles exclusively. I feel like I'd be a little annoyed if I didn't have the chance to like pause it, like take
Or
my break.
rewind and be like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
What did they just say? That was too fast."
But everybody says it's fantastic. I mean, it's getting like Oscar buzz. Like people are literally saying it could like it should win Best Picture. I don't know if I don't even think it got nominated, but that's what I've heard.
That's awesome.
Oppenheimer, which I started 2 nights ago, rented it, got 30 minutes into it, and then we literally my wife and I haven't had a chance to watch it again, so I had to re-rent it. But I'm not going to re-rent it. I ended up going on Amazon and just buying it because the first 30 minutes were good enough that I was like, you know what?
It's a commitment.
Yeah.
It's just 3 hours long.
Yes.
But
so I bought it.
is
I bought it now. So
phenomenal.
I really
It's on my
hope.
list.
I really hope the last 2.5 hours of that movie are as good as the first 30 minutes were.
They are.
Some honorable mentions for me are the Barbie movie and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I love both of those movies. I thought Mutant Mayhem was cute. My kids loved it. Barbie movie was ridiculously funny. I did not expect it to be funny, but just the visuals in that movie of Barbie walking from the 3rd floor of her dream house to the 2nd floor by just walking off camera and then showing up again on camera on the second part because there are no stairs.
And there's
I
no
was-
walls.
There's no walls. I was like, genius.
Yeah.
This is genius. And Ryan Gosling, he should be nominated for Best Actor in a Comedy because he's so fucking funny in that movie. Movies I saw in theaters that I well, actually one of them I didn't see in theaters, but most of them I did. That I generally like. My top 5 this year. The bottom, I got Cocaine Bear, which I fucking loved. Cocaine Bear.
I
It's
like
so
Cocaine Bear.
stupid and
Great.
silly, but I laughed the whole time, and I just had a great time at the movies watching it. Across the Spider-Verse, which I bought when it came out. I didn't go to theaters to see that. Loved it. I love the Into the Spider-Verse. I think this is a great continuation. Leaves you off in a place where you're like, oh shit, like I gotta watch that 3rd fucking movie, which apparently is delayed for like 3 years. So I don't know where it's gonna be a while. Number 3 on my list was Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which I love the Mission Impossible movies. I mean, I think that they've since they got taken over by Bad Robot, they've only had great production. The first 2 movies are bad, but like the 3 and on have been fucking great. This one's probably, as far as stories go within Mission Impossible, one of my favorites, if not my favorite. It's up there with the one with Henry Cavill as the bad guy Fallout or whatever. Guardians of the Galaxy 4 is my number 2. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is my number 2. I love that movie. I cried, and I think it ended well. It's without question the best Marvel movie that's come out since post Endgame.
Yep.
Yeah, unless No Way Home was really good too, but I think it's the best one since Endgame. And then number 1, it was a toss up for me between this and Guardians, but I loved John Wick Chapter 4. I did. I think what did it for me, honestly, and this is it's simple, but the staircase scene where he continues to get knocked down the staircase and go back up it. It is daunting and annoying, and I genuinely felt bad for John Wick. I'm like, oh, fuck me, dude. You got to go back up the fucking stairs again.
I haven't finished it yet. I started
Oh, that's good.
and then I haven't finished.
It's great, and they do this thing where other movies have done this, but I don't think other movies have done this as well. There's a scene in the movie, Dan. It's not going to ruin the plot for you at all, but there's a scene in the movie where there is a top-down view of John and a couple other people, a bunch of hitmen and shit like that, coming into an apartment or a house or a big building or whatever.
Oh yeah,
top-down view where you see the separations of the walls, like perfectly like a maze, like you're looking down on, and you just see him like running into people, fucking them up from that angle, and like all these like pieces moving.
So fucking
it's
good.
fucking awesome. It is such a good shot, and I was like, I know other movies have done things like this, but they've never done it like this good. And,
It's like an old Victorian house too.
oh, it's rad. And it reminded me of, and I don't know why, but have you ever seen The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou?
Yep.
So you know in that movie how they do like the panel shot where you see all the rooms of the ship, and you're like with all the people doing shit. It was like obviously that's used for a silly effect. And seeing these people move around, it was that same thing but turned up, and it's just like, what if we did that shot but people are fucking each other up in every room? Like, it was really cool. I really dug it. So but honestly, my top 3 could all switch. Like I've only seen each of them once, so if I watched Guardians again, it could jump up. If I watched Mission Impossible again, it could jump up. If I watched John Wick again, it could jump down. So generally, I didn't see as many movies this year as I normally do, and Oppenheimer, had I finished it, maybe would jump up to number 1. Probably would. But yeah.
Good times.
Would you all say Rebel Moon is the worst movie you saw this year?
Oh, for
No.
sure.
Nope.
What's the worst movie you saw this year?
I can't even remember the name of it. It's called Best Christmas Ever. And my wife was like, "Oh, there's this Christmas movie on Netflix, maybe. It has Brandy in it
Oof.
As a main actor?
as one of the main characters, and it was
Terrible.
horrible.
She hasn't
Horrible.
acted since I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
And it wasn't even a Hallmark movie, and it was just like it was over, and I said, "Well, that was fucking terrible." And she was like, yeah, it was. Never have to watch that again. And I said, perfect. I'm a little disappointed that we did watch it.
I'm actually impressed because you went through the entire thing. Some people usually get about halfway and like, no, it's not for me. But you, sir, you're a
I
trooper.
power through.
Sometimes you find a
respect.
train wreck and you have to see it actually meet its end. So,
Oh yeah.
There's a movie last year I saw, and this is again, we'll wrap this podcast up. But there's a movie I watched last year called The Forgotten, and genuinely, I was like, "What is this fucking movie? I've never heard of it." It has, I think it's called The Forgotten. It's got Thomas Jane, and it's got what's her name? She died last year. Short blonde hair.
And Heche.
Anne Heche, and
How?
I couldn't remember her name, but it's got them in it, and like their son has gone missing, and they're having the cops like look for him and all this shit, and they think that their neighbors had something to do with it. Like they're at this like campsite, and they think the people who moved in next door, and it's this weird movie where like they're watching these people have sex. They're finding all these freaks that live in this fucking campsite, and like there's like an escaped convict on the loose, and all of it is like, how is this movie going to wrap up? And when the movie wraps up, it wraps up. Sarah and I were both watching it. I mean, she picked it. It's very rare that she picks something like she wants to sit down and watch a movie, and she picked this movie, and we're sitting there watching this, and I'm like, this movie's fucking terrible. Like, as we're going through it, and at the end of the movie, I'm spoiling it for you right now. I don't even care.
Don't care.
The end of this movie, you find out that Anne Heche and Thomas Jane's son has died. He died years ago, and they're dealing with the grief of it by they're so detached from reality because of this, both of them, that they can't accept that he's gone, and they keep reliving that he's going missing over and over again. And it's fucking horrible. But they like murder people, Thomas Jane and this woman, to try and get their son back. And then at the end of the movie, they just drive off. Cops aren't looking for him. Nothing. They just drive off. They've murdered the people who live next door to them. The son's dead. He's been dead forever. And they only find this out because the cop in the movie who was like looking for the son, like gets a forensics report back from where they live. And it's like, yeah, the fucking son drowned like 5 years ago. Like,
Jesus Christ.
this whole movie. And I literally looked at Sarah. I said, I don't think I can let you pick movies anymore. Like, not for us together. Like, it's like I watched Rebel Moon by myself. I didn't make her watch it, but that movie's worse than Rebel Moon.
Yeah. Megan doesn't allow me to pick movies for us to watch. She goes, "You're gonna pick some kind of dog shit." I'm like, it's just what I like to watch. It's not my fault.
But you do have some standards though. Rebel Moon is not.
It's really not. It's just bad, you know.
But all right, guys, let's wrap up
Cool.
this podcast. We'll come back next week with some topics. I have a good one for next week. I'll even give you guys the heads up. I want you guys to know, come up with what are your favorite post-Taken Liam Neeson movies that are just like Taken. There's like 1,000 of them.
Taken with a different name.
My
Yeah.
top one will shock you.
I'm looking forward to it. That is going to be one of the topics next week. So, to everybody who's watching this video, please do us a big favor. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you're going to listen to us on Spotify, just, click that plus button and do all the things you do with things on Spotify. I don't know what they are, but, any little bit helps. So, thank you guys, and we'll see
Share
you
with your
next week.
friends.
Bye-bye.